Professor Shinde,
Yes.
before I go to Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain on what can be the solutions now, quickly, if you can tell me,
Yes.
do you believe that the reason for the Wazukhana, being placed where the shivling is there, where the devout Muslims wash their hands and legs in the reservoir that has the shivling, and they do their ablutions before
Yes.
offering namaz in the Wazukhana, the shivling is being put in such unclean and unhygienic conditions with dead fish lying around, with devotees doing their ablutions. Do you think the placement of the Wazukhana was also deliberate to cause hurt and put down the Hindu community even more?
Yeah, I think it looks like that because it is now it quite clear that that Shivlinga is there, below this Swazukhana. So now it is clear, in fact, and the inference one can draw different inferences, and Aurangzeb, as I mentioned, that he wanted to insult the Hindus in different ways, and this may be one of the ways of insulting the Hindus further. So it is quite likely, yes.
So Kashi, Mathura, Ayodhya, these are all, agenda items for the Hindu community. My question now is to Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain. It has been a victory for you, and I'm sure you're very happy with the SI report. Question is, Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain ji, suppose there are some Muslims who believe that given the fact that Aurangzeb and others planned these as victory monuments rather than just as mosques, that if the place has to be handed over to the Hindu community, who can hand it over? Who has the legal right to decide? Right? In this case, right? Who is the legal? Suppose that were to be suggested as a solution, that is a gesture of goodwill. Return the land to the Hindu community. Restore the land to the Hindu community. Who can do that technically?
Technically, two persons can do it. It can be either by the court of law, the district court of Varanasi can pass such an order, and the Anjuman Intizamiya can also hand over the possession of the so-called mosque to the Hindu community, peaceful possession of the so-called mosque to the Hindu community. So these are the two factors by which this issue can be solved. But apart from this, I want to also tell you, Arnab, that ASI's finding is not just based on conjectures and surmises. ASI is a very scientific and technical body, and everything has been photographed and video recorded during this entire proceedings. Let me tell you that this entire area is barricaded, and this comes within the high security zone. So a person going there inside the barricading cannot even take a pen with him inside the barricading. So everything, whatever you are showing on your screen, all these things are found without excavation. No excavation has been carried out. The district court of Varanasi had ordered for excavation. That order was partially modified by the Honorable Allahabad High Court by 3rd August 2023 and affirmed by the Supreme Court on 4th August 2023. So every exercise which has been conducted and these artifacts which are found in this Hanuman idol is found, Lord Hanuman idol is found, Lord Ganesh idol is found, Lord Krishna idol is found, Shivling is found, destroyed Shivling is found, Argha is found. All these things are found without excavation from the so-called mosque. And the ASI has also given a finding that pillars of Hindu temples were used for the reconstruction of the so-called mosque. The western wall also is of a Hindu temple. So all these things go and prove to show that this was a premise of Hindu temple and which has been very cleverly converted into a mosque. Now let me also tell you that this survey is as of now incomplete. Not this survey, this exercise of survey is incomplete because in the Vazu tank area, our Shivlingam is lying. And I had made an application before the Honorable Allahabad High Court. The Honorable Allahabad High Court allowed my application on 12th of May 2023 and directed that ASI should conduct survey in the Vazu tank, the reservoir area, the sealed area. The Anjuman Intizamiya, who filed an affidavit in the court claiming that it's not a Shivlingam, it's a fountain, went against this order of the Allahabad High Court to the Supreme Court. And the Honorable Supreme Court has stayed the orders of the Allahabad High Court on 19th May 2023. So the point is that survey has been done in most of the premises. Only now ASI survey is remaining in the Wazoo tank area, and that survey also is very, very crucial and very important, because I believe, and I'm strongly saying it on your channel, that it is a Shivlingam. It is not a fountain, and it has been sealed. Wazoo as of now is not happening, but that Shivling area can be the
But does it
original
not then become the
structure of the
responsibility of the
Garbhagriha.
court? But does it not then? No, but then my question is, Dr. Verma, if the court has to protect the sentiments of devout people from all communities, including the Hindu community, given the findings of the ASI, is it not the solemn responsibility of the court to factor in what has been found, include the possibility that this is a temple, that inside the Vazukhana there is a shivling, and stop the the washing of hands and legs in the reservoir where the shivling is there, so that the continued insult to the sentiments of the Hindu community is at least put to a temporary halt while the matter is resolved. I mean, before the area is handed over, temporarily, at least the duty of the court becomes to make sure that Hindus are not insulted and their sentiments are not trodden upon in this way. What is your thought, Dr. Verma?
True, Arnab. I think what you say is, from the Hindu point of view, is very fine. But from the judicial viewpoint, from the court's viewpoint, I think it's very good that we will probably wait. We have waited for 500 years in the case of Ram Janmabhoomi, and ultimately a unanimous verdict came. That gives us a sense of satisfaction that ultimately, even if we have to take a legal course and have to wait along, then ultimately the truth will win. In the same way, I think most of the temples have the same story. It's not about only Gyanvapi or about this one day or that temple. Most of the temple, and it is on the historical records, wherever you go, you will find a lot of evidences. So evidences apart, the court has also to factor in the other things, like the communal harmony in the country and other things, so that nobody accuses the court of a hasty judgment. Let the legal process be completed, and of course, as you very rightly said, that taking cognizance of the Hindu sentiment, because as our learned counsel was just now pointing out, that he very strongly believes that it is a Shivlingam, and we all think that it is a Shivlingam. But the court will have to think that it is a Shivlingam, and the court will think only when it has a very conclusive evidence and the court is convinced that it is a Shivlingam. Only probably then the court will, restrain that
But the matter can't be.
ablutions in that particular.
But how